You're going to be judging some of the best in the world the next couple days here in London. What are you looking for? What makes a great b-boy? Like, what is it? Because we just talked about power moves, but it's not all about power moves. We just talked about the influences, whether it's martial arts, Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, James Brown, some angst, some anger, some caveman mentality. We got to perform to get the cave woman and take her back.
Yeah. So there's a certain state of mind, right?
Okay.
I mean, there's a certain, in that state of mind, you inherit it and it becomes your posture. So a b-boy does not look like a ballet dancer. A b-boy does not look like a typical, I can't even say, or ballroom dancer or something like that, So there's something where you already see that a b-boy looks more like a martial artist when he steps into a circle. That's something that could describe the state of mind already, because he's getting probably like when we're talking about UK b-boy championships, there's a stage and people are stepping into a ring, they step into an arena, they have to battle against each other. So just the name already, battle, they have to dance against each other. So the approach is agonistic, right? So you have to dance against somebody, you have to show that you can handle yourself better than this guy, that your moves are stronger than the moves of that guy, right? So, but how do you show it? You show it through performance, right? So now you're performing. So what is important in a performance? I mentioned it earlier. So people that really want to get into it, they have to get into performativity. Getting into performativity, you find out that it's not really about what you're doing, but how you do it. The same way as in a debate. So now let's say we have a topic and we talk about Donald Trump. Right? And you have to bring forward why Donald Trump is good or bad, and I have to argue. It's the same way in a battle. It's an argument. There's something, where you show your phrase, or you show your text or your performance, and then the other guy shows his. And now you have to compare. Now this is how it's done. And it's the best way on how it's done. There's no grades, or there's nothing where you could say, okay, I give this guy a 5 or I give this guy a 7, which is a stupid representation, because what does it even mean? These numbers, so you just you give somebody a number and now you have to define what that number means. It's already hard enough to try, and where something is very self-referential, because every move should speak for itself. It's a dance. It's a body language. So every move is self-referential. If I call it a windmill, I know what I'm talking about, but you might not know. So even putting that in words is hard. Now giving it a number would make it even worse. Yeah. So a lot of people, they tend to give it numbers, which might work for yourself if you put a number between 1 and 1,000 or something. But in most cases, it gives it a ranking among everybody in the competition. Because you also, what is it? Like, what if you have a beginner's battle tomorrow, then also how would you rank that? Or if we are speaking of using numbers, doesn't matter. So the typical b-boy phrase consists of top rock, down rock, and freezes, and it creates a dramaturgic arch. Like a day is creating a dramaturgic arch. You wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, it's the introduction, then you go through your day, and then in the evening you have dinner, you slow down, this is the outro, and you go to bed. But it's typical. And the same way you should look at a b-boy phrase, at a b-boy performance, at everything performative actually. Also in a debate. If you are forming your sentence, that sentence has to make sense. And you end it with a dot. You end it with a dot, which means, okay, full stop, that's it. That's what a b-boy freezes at the end. You need this stop so that everybody knows performance is done. I'm finished.
And a freeze is when a b-boy will stop and literally pause and freeze in a specific pose, a lot of times looking at the opponent. And
well, not necessary.
Not
you
always.
Could also, in the middle of a performance, it's the same, going from chapter to chapter.
Right.
It's possible that you freeze in between and you continue. There's even a style that's called freeze in motion. But if you stop, it's just again, speaking of dichotomy, it's just building a nice amplitude to a lot of movement. So the stronger and the harder and the faster the movement is before, if you finish it with a very good freeze, what we call a freeze, then it creates the dynamic and it creates the Jesus Christ effect in the audience where you go,
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.